Piles and piles of garbage thrown in the landfill every day, easily filled up garbage trucks, and a lot of unnecessary packaging waste bought by us customers were a few of many things I have noticed in my home and community, which is why I can't help but think of effective ways on how to lessen the impact of plastic waste in my neighborhood. After a lot of reflection and observations, we thought of a business idea that could lessen the use of disposable plastics and harmful materials that damage our environment. This brings us to our presentation today. A pleasant day to our beloved professor, Ma'am Gretchen M. Bayos, or Ma'am Chen. We are Group 5 of 12 ABM3, and we will be presenting our proposed business. Before we start with the presentation of the survey questions and results, let us first understand the paramount importance of minimizing waste in our communities. In the introduction part of our presentation, we will briefly discuss the facts about waste here in our country. First, the country generated 362,000 metric tons of waste from July to December 2020, almost 4 times greater than the 88,000 metric tons of waste generated in 2019, said the Department of Environment and Natural Resources last 2021. Second, according to the World Bank last 2021, the plastics industry is vital to our country's economy. However, a high dependence on single-use plastics like multi-layer sachets and pouches has led the Philippines to become a sachet economy that continues to worsen the alarming effects of marine plastic pollution in the region. By some estimates, the Philippines consumes a staggering 163 million pieces of sachets every day. This brings us to our third point from the Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, which stated in 2020 that companies are now looking for alternatives in their products' packaging because some individuals are turning into minimalists and/or zero-waste kind of customers. More socially aware customers are supporting and investing in brands that are conscious of being environment-friendly. These are some facts that can be easily found on the internet, but in reality, we can observe the severity of the issue at hand. As consumers of plastic waste, this begs the question: how can we shop more sustainably? How can we purchase our food but also help the environment? This is when we got the idea to make zero-waste grocery shops a possibility, because we thought that the issue at hand had a sufficient amount of urgency, pervasiveness, and willingness to the market. But this was just an assumption, because we needed to ask perspectives of the actual market first before starting up the business plan. We needed to know if the residents in our communities would be willing to shop at zero-waste grocery stores. That is why we conducted a survey to know the insights of our potential market. This is the introduction. My name is Elaine, and Ms. Ariana Dordas will discuss our survey questions about our proposed business.
Thanks, Elaine. Next are the survey questions that were included in our survey. Before that, let us first discuss our respondents in our survey. Our group surveyed a total of 44 respondents. Most of them are teenagers and middle-aged adults from selected barangays in Metro Manila. We have 23 questions for the survey. Number 1, name. Number 2, gender. Number 3, what age group do you fall into? Number 4, employment status. Number 5, how many people currently live in your household? Number 6, what is your total monthly household income? Number 7, how often do you usually shop for food? Number 8, on average, how much would you spend on groceries each week? Number 9, on a scale of 1 to 5, how often do you shop in the following supermarkets? Number 10, when grocery shopping, how important on a scale from 1 to 5 are the following? Number 11, on a scale of 1 to 5, how much plastic waste do you think you are collecting while grocery shopping? Number 12, As a consumer, do you think that you have the power to lessen the effects of plastic pollution? Number 13. On a scale of 1 to 5, how urgent should we address the excess usage of plastic in grocery stores? Number 14. If a zero waste shop were to open in your area, how often are you to buy the following products? Please rate it between 1 to 5. Number 15. If a zero waste shop were to open in your area, how often are you to buy the following products? Please rate it between 1 to 5. Number 16. If a zero waste grocery shop open in your area, how often will you shop? Number 17. How far are you willing to travel to shop at a zero waste shop? Number 18. If there an option of delivery service, would you avail it? Number 19. Are you willing to pay for delivery? Number 20. On a scale of 1 to 5, how much are you willing to buy groceries in a zero waste grocery store? Number 21. What would be the reasoning for choosing to shop in a zero waste shop? Please choose all that apply. Number 22. Is there anyone else that you think is also willing to buy groceries in a zero waste grocery store? Number 23. If so, how many are they?
Our survey has 23 questions, but only questions 2 to 23 were displayed in the presentation. Starting with question 1, figure 1. In question 1, the respondent's gender was asked. As you can see in the presentation, there are more female respondents with a total of 28 responses than male respondents with a total of 15. And lastly, one respondent who answered prefer not to say. Followed by question 2, figure 2. In this figure, the respondent's age was asked. Category B, which stands for under 18, has the most responses from the respondents, amounting to 19 responses, followed by categories 18 to 24, which had 80 responses, 35 to 44, which had 3 responses, age 45 to 59, which amounted to 2 responses, and lastly, category senior that had no response at all. In figure 3, respondents' employment status was asked. The category student had the highest percentage that resulted in 35 responses, followed by working student, which had 2 responses, employed that had 1 respondent, unemployed that had 6 respondents, and lastly, the category retired that had 0 respondents. Figure 4, the number of people currently living in the respondents' households. Category 3 to 5 had the most respondents, resulting in 34 responses. Category 11 or more got the least responses, it had 0 respondents at all. In figure 5, the respondents' total monthly household income was asked. This question has 7 categories, and the category with the highest percentage was 10,001 to 20,000, which received 13 responses, while the categories with the fewest responses were 130,001 to 220,000 and at least 220,001 and up, which received 2 responses each. In figure 6, the question, how often do you usually shop for food, was asked. In this figure, 6 categories were made, and the category that received the highest rate was a couple of times a month, which had 20 responses. The categories less than once a month and 3 weeks had the least responses. Each category had 2 responses in total. Figure 7. On average, how much would you spend on groceries each week? The budget 1,001 pesos to 5,000 pesos had the most respondents, which resulted in 15 responses. And the less than 500 pesos category had the least respondents, which resulted in 1 response. In figure 8, which asked participants how often they shop in supermarkets, local shops, and local farmer shops on a scale of 1 to 5. The results showed that the majority of respondents often shop in supermarkets. They sometimes shop in local shops and rarely visit the local farmer's shop. Moving on to figure 9. The figure showed the results of the question asking how the following aspects such as price, location, variety of products, plastic-free packaging, recyclable, organic, and locally sourced are important on a scale from 1 to 5. It is found that the majority of the 44 respondents find all of the aspects mentioned very important, especially the price and the variety of products available. In figure 10, the question on a scale of 1 to 5, how much plastic waste do you think you are collecting while grocery shopping? 1 equals to none, 5 equals to very much, was asked. Among the scales, Scale 4 got the highest percentage, which resulted in 14 responses from the 44 total respondents.
In figure 11, the figure showed the results of the question asking, as a consumer, do you think that you have the power to lessen the effects of plastic pollution? Yes, no, and maybe was asked. Among the choices yes is answered by the majority of the respondents, 81.8%. For the choice no, while maybe is answered by 15.9 respondents. In figure 12, the figure showed the results of the questions. How urgent should we address the excess usage of plastic in grocery stores? 1 is not important and 5 is very important. And of the 44 respondents, 28 respondents answered 5 very important, which is the highest percentage among the choices. On the figure 13, most of the respondents put 5 very important points about the following products: rice, pasta, eggs, vegetables, fruits, cooking oil, herbs and spices, tea and coffee, alcohol, sanitizers, toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, skincare products, laundry detergent, fabric softener, and dishwashing liquid. On the figure 14, it also contains products that the majority of the respondents choose. The respondents choose 5 very important on the following products: reusable travel mug, water bottle, reusable straw, bamboo toothbrush, reusable containers, and reusable sandwich and food wraps. On the figure 15, the figure showed the results of the question. If a zero-waste grocery shop opened in your area, how often will you shop? Out of the 44 respondents, 25% of the respondents choose a few times a week. 38.6% of the respondents choose once a week. 27.3% of the respondents choose a few times a month. On the other hand, 1 of the respondents choose every day, 3 of the respondents choose once a month, and 1 respondent choose less than once a month. On the figure 16, the figure showed the results of the questions. How far are you willing to travel to shop at a zero-waste shop? Out of 44 respondents, 22.7% of the respondents choose less than 500 meters. 43.2% of the respondents choose between 500 meters and 1 kilometer. 20.5% of the respondents choose between 1 and 5 kilometers. 11.4% of the respondents choose between 6 and 10 kilometers, and lastly, 1 respondent choose more than 10 kilometers. While the figure 17 and 18 shows to have the same percentage of answers by the respondents, 68.2% choose yes, 9.1% choose no, while 22.7% choose maybe. The figure 19 showed the results of the questions. How much are you willing to buy groceries in a zero-waste grocery store? Out of 44 respondents, 20 respondents choose 5 very important, while 1 not important. No respondents answered. On the figure 20, the figure showed the results of the question. What will be the reasoning for choosing to shop in a zero-waste shop? Out of 44 respondents, 40 respondents choose cut down on plastic use. 27 respondents choose lower prices. 30 respondents choose convenience. 24 respondents choose better ability to manage the quantities of product purchased. 39 respondents choose reduce climate impact, while 3 respondents choose have no reason to shop in a zero-waste grocery store. On Figure 21, the figures show the results of the question, is there anyone else that you think is also willing to buy groceries in a zero-waste grocery store? Out of 44 respondents, 90.9% choose yes, while 9.1% choose no. Lastly, the last figure of Figure 22 show the results of the question. If so, how many are they? Out of 44 respondents, 9.1 choose 0, 47.7% choose 1 to 5, 20.5% choose 5 to 10, 18.2% choose 21 and up, while the 10-20 had no response. That is all for the survey results. The conclusions and product will be discussed by Mr. Cabrera. Back to you, Justin.
Based on the results, it is proven that the majority of the respondents are in favor of zero-waste grocery stores. In addition, the respondents answered that they are willing to buy groceries in a zero-waste grocery store to cut down the use of plastic and to reduce climate impact. Therefore, we have decided that our proposed business idea will be a zero-waste grocery store. In a zero-waste grocery store, most of the products will not use plastics for packaging and most of the materials used on the products are plastic-free. These products are rice grains and fresh produce, hygiene products, household products, and lastly, reusable products. Our zero-waste grocery store will sell edible products such as rice, fruits, and vegetables. For hygiene products, we will sell bamboo toothbrushes, toothpaste tablets, and facial scrubbers. For household products, we will sell net bags, back scrubbers, toilet brush, and any type of products that consumers use daily. Lastly, we will sell products that can be used repeatedly by consumers. These products are beeswax wraps, reusable straws, and reusable travel mugs. These products are just the example of the products that a zero-waste store has. There will be more products that will satisfy many customers and it will lessen the pollution of our environment. Before the presentation ends, let us ask the question: how can the consumer buy their product preferences without the plastic packaging? All of these certain types of products can have packaging options in which a glass jar and a pump dispenser can be bought in our zero-waste grocery store. Not only these two packaging options that are available, there will be more. And these packaging options will be paper bags, repurposed containers, new containers, and the consumer's container. We plan to put all of the certain types of products in many containers. As you can see, each container has labels or names of a specific type of product, whether solid type of product and a liquid type of product. The purpose of these containers is to cut the use of plastics on our products and to also encourage many consumers to lessen the pollution that we produce from buying products with plastic as their materials and packaging. That ends our presentation. We hope that you find this proposed business idea feasible in the near future. My name is Justin C. Cabrera.
I am Elaine Myrtle L. Branya.
I am Ariana Jessica T. Tortas.
I am Angela B. Ojeda.
I am Stephen Joseph S. Patchenko.
Once again, we are Group 5 from 12 ABM 3. Thank you for listening.